Yo, 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 it's Jeb in his house. Hey, yo, we're going to space, yo. Hey, yo, we're going to space. Rolling on 909s, making money big time. Hustle Uncle Sam on the taxpayer's dime. We're the spacemen in our space bridges. We gone from rags to buku riches. Throw your rockets in the air like you just don't care. Throw your rockets in the air like you just don't care. We a G unit, baby. And don't you forget it. We a G force, homie. That's a G limit. We on fire like a blade of home down. See you later. But before I'm out, let's launch this Cap Simulator. We a G unit, baby. We a G unit, baby. Yo, 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 it's Jeb in his house. Hey, yo, we're going to space, yo. Hey, yo, we're going to space. Rolling on 909s, making money big time. Hustle Uncle Sam on the taxpayer's dime. We're the spacemen in our space bridges. We gone from rags to buku riches. Throw your rockets in the air like you just don't care. Throw your rockets in the air like you just don't care. We a G unit, baby. And don't you forget it. We a G force, homie. That's a G limit. We on fire like a blade of home down. See you later. But before I'm out, let's launch this Cap Simulator. We a G unit, baby. We a G unit, baby.
Hello everybody, the iLord Root here, and welcome back to another episode of G-Limit. So we have a number of contracts we want to go through today. Specifically, we want to get a number of things. Science data from around Kerbin, of course, would be nice, but specifically we want to land on Duna. And we have a number of satellites coming through as a result, but we wanted to add a couple more. I'm just going to remove Dom from here real quick because of the fact that we really do have a few days, and so what I'm going to do is I am going to launch the I guess my first satellite here. That satellite would be the Red Mod. Now the Red Mod has a special part on it. It has the resource scanner, and that's going to be very useful for us. That means that we can look for things in space. I'm going to unlock the Sentinel because it's next, and while I'm at it, I'm also going to unlock the large static panels. Anyway, we'll get this up. As you may have noticed, I got a new machine. And that means that not only can I record in 1080p, but the game is actually a little bit harder now that there's not as much lag. So I'm going to do my best. I'm going to put this into a polar orbit, and I will do my best not to flip out. Anyway, I will see you then. Oh no. I flipped out. And I hit my Windows key. This is no good. I'm hoping I can recover from this. The likelihood of that does not seem great. But, yeah, you know, like I said, there's this one issue to where, now I don't think I have enough thrust to weight ratio to keep myself up. We'll have to correct inclination fairly shortly, I think. Not right now. We're actually doing okay here. So it would seem. Okay. Alright, we're making a quick suborbital pass here. Not because I want to, of course, but because that's what the situation calls for. There's enough drag on here that, it could be a bit of a problem. And that should, be us. There we go. It's good enough for me. Let's get this guy deployed here because we want science. Now, of course, this will not give us the science we're looking for. This guy will. Because it turns out I recorded this episode once and then realized that the recording was not going. So, it'll go around the planet. And hopefully, should be in the view of the sun pretty soon. And what will happen is that once the sky gets transmitted like so, then we will end up in a very, very good situation here. I don't know why it's doing it twice, but we now have data here and 10 more science. Not a bad start. Not at all. I'm just going to go through real quick, check our contracts, and maybe see if, there's one that is good for us. I do have a moon contract that I need to do real quick, but then I will show you the next option. Well, actually, I'll launch that first because it needs to be launched. And so here is the Sentinel. Now, this, of course, is based off of the I forget exactly what it's called, the B612 Foundation, I think. That mod pack. But we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to launch it, and you will see exactly how we're going to get it to the point we need to get it to. So if everything goes well, and hopefully it will, I will see you in orbit. So we'll see you then. Okay, we are getting close to orbit here. In fact, we are in orbit now. And so the question is, how do we get out to the sun anyway? Well, you might remember when we went to Duna, we burned at dawn. And so, in order to go to the sun, we need to, or rather we burned not at dawn, and actually this is pretty good placement for it. But we burned at sunset, and we want to burn at dawn in order to get to Duna. So, in this case, we need just enough delta V to get us to our guy here. This is actually too little, too much. Our orbit needs to be 11106, something like that. Just go on the periapsis side. That is pretty close, actually. Let me just click on this guy here. There we go. And we will do a minor adjustment. Make sure that we get as close to that as we can. Again, does not have to be perfect. These guys can stand quite a bit of deviation. So I'm going to make this burn happen, and I will see you on the other side of it. Alright, we are close. We may need to do we need to burn retro. Just a little bit, actually. Just a wee bit, not much. As you can see, that's in 186 days. If time this correctly, then we can do a little bit more with it, of course. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get this up to 106. Just because it's good to be as close as possible. And we'll get into a pretty decent orientation here. So that we come out like this. Now we can't quite use the sky yet because we are not in solar orbit. We need to be in solar orbit to get the science from this, unfortunately. But other than that, I mean, it shouldn't be too difficult. In fact, we would have enough Delta V, I would think, to return this thing as well, which is actually quite nice. So we'll do the SOI change, and I will take care of a couple of contracts real quick, just to at least this one here, the space data from space around Minmus. But I will see you then. Okay, we are about to enter Duna SOI with the Polaris Mark II, which we definitely do want to get started on. So this guy is more or less in an okay inclination for what we want to do with it. I'm going to crank the engine power down just a little bit, however, just so I can make an accurate burn here. So the thing is that it should be possible for us to bring this guy down to a reasonable aerobraking altitude. And I actually do have a specific requirement for that. I'm going to be aerobraking at about 1900 or so. I think that would make the best deal here. And then we have a contract as well for science from space around Duna, so I'm going to take care of that. Of course, because this guy's mission profile changed, I have decided that I more or less decide that I'm going to do this real quick. Let's get ourselves burning. It is rather important to be careful. Let's just down like this until we get to okay, that's good. Let's get that science going by the way. Even though in its present form it isn't worth anything to us, we do want to be able to retrieve that. And so what we're going to do now is get this guy oriented in such a way that the solar panels will be able to work. And we will add in, let me just go here, we're going to go to periapsis, and we'll come back in about 5 minutes until periapsis. Which means, of course, we can forward. Oh, one more thing too, I'm going to put the engine back up to full throttle here. the next thing we're going to do is that we are going to take this guy here. Yes, delete on close. And we're gonna get him into the SOI as well. We actually are doing pretty well on fines, as it turns out. It's, definitely not the worst thing that could happen to us. But one thing we do need to do is you'll see we're coming around retrograde. Sort of. We need to pull this guy on like this. Going to use, I suppose, Ike as a reference here. And the idea is that I'm going to get this into an equatorial orbit because we do have to get into orbit with Ike eventually with this guy. Oh, another thing too, I almost forgot to mention. This has to change for reasons that will become apparent. But basically what will happen is that if we are not careful, we will essentially make it to where it's not possible for those fairings to separate, and we don't want that. Okay, so I'm just going to make the burn now. But let us do ourselves a favor and target Ike. See if maybe we can get any better there. Doesn't look like it. But that'll be okay. We can take care of that outside of orbit. So the main thing then is going to be getting our periapsis lowered again to about 1900 or so. I think that that's not the worst thing that can happen to us. And what we'll do here, we'll get ourselves set up for our aerobraking. So yeah, the aerobraking altitude, that's something to be very careful about, because you go too deep, of course, you will get trapped in the atmosphere, and we do not want that. Want to basically remain where we are. So we're gonna get pretty close pretty soon. Let's just get this down. That looks to be good to me. And we can take advantage of that. So again, 5 minutes. We'll bounce between these two. But until then, we'll just move forward as soon as we can. And that we'll be pretty far out, actually. So let's do this thing. Okay, we are starting error braking now, and I'm just going to cut on the engines just a little bit to maintain control. Okay, we have just started braking here. Same thing we did with Bill, really. I'm just trying to get rid of this stage and make the most of it because we will not have it. And we'll have to do there. Maybe take a... okay. That may not help as much. As we are still maybe not as low down as we would like. Still, we do have to slow down. That is part of the rules here. Okay, while we're at it, we probably should make inclination adjustments. And when we do make this inclination adjustment, it's going to help that we will be able, I think it's like here. We'll be able to, get rid of some of our height issues here. Let's just warp on out there, because it's, we can definitely get this done, this mission. It's just going to take a lot of aggressive maneuvers. Maneuvers that I'm okay with performing. But, really should be careful about. So what we're essentially doing here is we're taking this guy and we're pushing it out over the poles. And this will hopefully help us just a little bit. We'll soon be out of the atmosphere. Okay, we're probably at the best we can do for now. And that, of course, means that we must now plot so that this guy here can be rotated around properly, which I believe will occur around here. We have an ascending node maneuver. Maybe. In the interim, I think it would be really good if we were to... I believe if we rotate here, it'll lower our periapsis, or apoapsis, maybe. We have a need to lower that, which we are presently not doing. You know, it does make me wonder if we do something like this. First of all, it might help if I do actually get to the descending node and continue this. And I'll see what I can do about this. We've actually lowered our periapsis quite a great deal. This is actually doing a pretty good job of lowering it for us. But we, of course, need to be careful. Okay, there's the minimum. If I can reduce this, then what I can do is I can, oh, there we go, there's prograde, so we need to go retrograde. Okay, I've decided to burn out, because I realized I was looking at my periapse this time. So we'll take care of that real quick. And let's get on to getting the other probe wrangled in. Okay, we're coming down pretty quickly over Duna. And it is now time, anytime soon, for us to engage these engines here. Now, well, we should have more than enough just to do what we want. Looks like we got a minor bit of overheating, and it's nearly what I expected it to be. I must have forgotten to unlimit the thrust on that. Which means that we did not make the most of that periapsis burn, fortunately. Thing is, though, is that we will burn off all of our fuel momentarily. And what we'll want to do then, we'll want to hit G. We want to get our landing gear out because we're actually blocking the fairing. And we'll hit that. I'm gonna hit it again. Well, stowed. Uh-oh. This is a bit of a problem. We have had a mechanical failure of sorts. Can't activate while stowed. I do not understand. Nothing is stowed. You know what I bet it is. So I bet these guys. Oh, there we go. Let's just bring this down at a time. Like that. Give ourselves a little bit of and I'm gonna go on the fairing here. This does not look. I think broke. Yeah, this thing no longer has it in. Oh no, it does. Yeah. Let me see what we can do about that. Hopefully, it will not say that it's crashed into the planet. It was the thing I was hoping to. Okay. Because that was the last thing we needed. In fact, it would be good. Raise our periapsis zone. Don't really need to raise it much. But given the accident that we've just had, it's better for us not to have to worry about it. Oh, there we go. I guess, should real quickly switch back to that other craft. Maybe see if we can get a inclination change out of it. That's the thing about these guys as a Sentinel there. We can pretty easily get them back to where they need to go once they're there. See, just minor inclination change here. Can do that. Oops. And we will probably want to raise periapsis as well. In fact, why don't we just briefly lower that so we don't have to worry. Because that's the thing, if we have to worry, then we're going to be bothered by it. And nobody wants to be bothered by that sort of thing. I know for sure I don't. But we'll just do a minor capture maneuver in order to do that. That's in 10 minutes, so we might as well, while we're fortunately still somewhat invisible. I hope not for long. I do not have, past the burn point. Long ago, actually. Still have 1 degree inclination here. But we'll have to make that correction at some other point. Maybe like if we come down here. Except I can no longer use nodes, unfortunately. But we are out of harm's way, at least for now. So let's try to get this Polaris set up real quick. And that should be happening shortly. Now, we got this guy going on. One that'll hopefully get us about where we want to be. Where's that descending? We actually are kind of close to Apoapsis, ascending node rather. So I want to see if it is possible, given that we're the furthest out we can be, First of all, what happens if we rotate like this? Seems to actually be quite effective this way. So are we going up? Or we need to minimize that. And we can make an inclination correction there as well. One that'll hopefully get us sorted. Still, it's we cut off a major chunk of our inclination. There we go. Let's just warp around all we can, because the idea is now going to be that we'll correct inclination here at the descending node. Which we should be at now. And then we will pull this guy down to whatever is necessary. So it'll probably take us a little bit of delta V to do that. This is probably the most expensive part of the maneuver, for sure. That's probably going to be very tight the way it is. So I'm going to have about 200 or so left. I do need to be careful about the way that I budget this. I'm being very aggressive. Let's see. 36, that means I need to burn 19. No, 18. Although I don't think it'll take too much delta V us to get to where we need to get, to be honest. Just have to be incredibly careful. Let's see what happens when we get this guy done like that. It's 200 and... I think the problem is that I barely have enough if we get this way. Granted, yeah, we wouldn't have enough. So I think what we'll do, come out here, maximize this. So this needs to be 5707. We can do that. There we go. Oh, now all we have to do is come up here They're 19 meters a second at delta V. That is the ascending node. Is the ascending node to make that rotation around here. And we just may have enough to do it. Let's add that to our list of things to do here. Something to happen maybe next episode. And let us now get the Sentinel on its way. As we get out here at least. Because that leaves us with really just a couple things left to do. Okay, we are about to cross SOI. Need to zoom out so we can see where we're going. There we go. We're about where we said we should be. This time we're just a little. Make sure that we retain that. Now the thing to do here, we want to push our periapsis over. Want to, of course, push this to the proper height. Okay, that's about good. That will happen in 167 days, so it's quite a while out. Which means we just have to land Solaris Mark IIA. This one can be kind of tricky if we're not careful. But we can make it happen. We just need to get into orbit here and do some finagling. Largely, that would include an inclination adjustment, which are actually in the perfect position. And I'm going to lower the thrust limiter to make this happen. I'm going to do my best to make this go at 90 degrees. And we're picking the poles because of the facts that it's easy for us to... Well, first of all, the poles are inaccessible. Otherwise, we'd have to do a lot of work to get to the poles. So the poles are being selected for that reason. But, it turns out that it's actually a, no, it's not a bad place to be either. Let's see, I'm actually going to bring this in at 17.5, I think. Maybe a little bit lower. 17.5, we will be pushing it. So anyway, I bet you we will have to do the Polaris adjustment. And, there we go. That's just fine by me. let's add apoapsis this one here. I think that's probably fine. Tasha. But yeah, we'll do that inclination adjustment on the Polaris. Okay. Now I do not know how close, and it says we're hitting the ascending nodes soon. Oh no, we actually already did it. Okay. Minor problem. Maybe we'll make it. I'm just going to use the minimal amount of fuel we can get here. Take care of this, cause not really stable. We can get to 5200, I think. It'll be okay. The question is, that is close enough. If we really want to, can maybe even bring that down to the atmosphere. But that is not what I'm going to do. I'm going to aerobrake the sky real quick. And then we will land to finalize the episode. Okay, we're about to make our periapsis burn now. The hopes that it'll essentially keep us in orbit, I suppose. We're going to, the basic idea is that we're going to take the satellite payload on this, and we're probably going to ditch it at some point. We're beginning to engage just a little bit, so flip around. Like so, and this is how it's supposed to work. Not activate while stowed. Oh, this again. That means we have to drift out of the vessel. This is actually a bit of a problem. I'm not banking on this thing getting stuck in the fairing like that. We'll just have to deal with that for now. There's really no reason it should get stuck in the fairing. But, and that's a problem we've been having lately. There we go. Should be able to activate this now. How about that? So I'm going to use this guy to help boost me up to a higher orbit, maybe. It'll actually take a little bit too long, so I'm not going to do it like that. what I'll do is I will get this guy to a relatively circular here. I'm going to jettison this. Because it will be important what we're doing. I'm going to start by doing that, just getting us out of the atmosphere. And then, oh, that's not the probe. That is the, there we go. This guy. I suppose a full burn out of the way. And get it circular. Okay, there we go. Just now have to get this thing landed. I think the question is going to be a question of how. Well, we are definitely on the light side here, that's a plus. And I'm thinking we should be able to easily get this part taken care of by virtue that we're probably going to land on these ice caps here. Well, there we go. Hopefully didn't burn too soon. And I'm gonna have to watch the heating on this part, because we can very easily overheat if we're not paying attention. But we're over the poles, so I'm going to start braking almost immediately. We have plenty of delta V to begin our braking burn. That will help. I'm going to put these guys out of frag too. And I'm going to collect science as well. Just because we might as well have it. So I will see you probably when we get close to landing. Okay, I'm deploying shoots now. Should be safe to deploy the other shoots soon. I hope at least. Let's at least get some science here. Do want to be careful to make sure we're in the light. Thinking we need to deploy this parachute pronto. Let's stabilize chutes while we're at it. It's gonna be a bumpy landing if we're not careful. I'm going to assume we're oriented correctly. And we're going to, you know what, we need to get some atmosphere science going while we're at it. Anyway, it's time for us to consider landing this thing. Need just a little bit more in the way of thrust here. It's a nice flat area just to land. Oh. And of course, that happens. I hope that's... Oh man, the seismometer's on the other side. We can get to it still. And that'll actually be quite the bounty of science for us. We can transmit this stuff multiple times. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to transmit all of the science and hope maybe won't be such a bad predicament. I mean, we are getting electric charge back, fortunately. Oh yeah, I see what it's doing. So yeah, let me get all that transmitted, and I will see you afterwards. Well, I time warped a little bit too far forward, it seems. But we have 187 signs, which is good. I haven't even transmitted it all. And we know this thing can recharge because I did it. So let's take a look at contracts for next time before we go. I'm not going to get any science because I'm saving it. We'll return urban next time, I think. And definitely science data from around Minmus. But other than that, we'll see what happens next time. As you can tell, we have the landing can left. So until then, this has been the iLord, and I will see you later.